Welcome to the Get Offset podcast. My name is Emily.
And my name is Andrew.
And I have a new hat.
I see that hat. It looks new.
It is. I got it in Winthrop, Washington. I was on vacation and I got a hat and I got a little hat band that just always ties the look together. I think hats, I know, I'm sure you can't see it, but very well. But Andrew can't. Viewers can. But I just feel like a band around the brim of a hat.
It ties it all together.
Just like a nice rug. Yeah. It's got a pinched middle. First time in a while I've had a real kind of crown like that. It's not a Stetson. I didn't go full Stetson this time. I went to the mountains for a few days with my brother, and there was a corgi present, so I learned my lesson concerning Stetsons and corgis. However, Tony, the corgi, is much more well-behaved than Cowboy was around Stetsons. Better track record.
Fitting name, though, for the incident.
Yeah, no, man. Speaking of that story, there's a demo coming out. I guess it's probably it's got to be out by the time this podcast episode is released because of embargoes. So this episode is released late. You know why? I donned my Stetson to release a demo for the new Fender Acoustasonic Player Telecaster. It's a new Acoustasonic!
It's another one!
This one is, obviously, it's a Telecaster.
I was like, what? You said a word in there that has me intrigued.
Player.
Which means it's
made in Mexico.
Significantly different. Yeah,
actually, it's not really that significantly different. I mean, I've only ever played the Jazzmaster. I hadn't played the original Telecaster version. So as far as like real apples to apples, I can't give you like that much. But I was playing my Jazzmaster Acoustasonic all weekend in the mountains. And I'm like, yeah, as far as like acoustic feel, the Jazzmaster is a little bigger sound just because I think of the bigger body. Sure. But construction feel really, really comparable. The big difference is in the electronics. New player has 3 positions instead of 6. 3 positions instead of 5, which with the blend knob, it means it has 6 unique voices instead of 10. So that's 2 acoustic sounds, 2 piezo lo-fi sounds, and 2 electric sounds. So unfortunately, you don't have the body sensor pickup in this.
I want to use 8 of them at the same time.
Well, you could never use you could blend between 2 of them at the same time. But there's one big, huge thing that I think is actually an improvement upon the Acoustasonic series, and that's that instead of having a USB charger for your active pickup, it's a 9-volt battery. You get 22 hours of playing time, they say. It's a lot more convenient to switch between batteries between shows or mid-show.
See, you hate the environment.
I'll give rechargeable 9 volts. I'll give rechargeable 9 volts. But like the idea of like if you were taking this on tour and you had to like charge it up every night, right? Or like every couple nights, or imagine like you going forgot halfway to show
him like, hey you, do you have an iPhone charger? Yeah, you. Let me borrow that real quick.
I need a USB-C. So yeah, I think a huge improvement. I really hope they incorporate that like option. Actually, I don't think it was an option in the American series, but I love that it's an option now.
That's I 100% agree. That's it. That for a whole host of reasons, I think that makes so much more sense.
Yeah, but I've been playing a lot of Alice in Chains on it. And what has it going? It's a little awkward here. Every day something hits me, I don't forgot the words, damn. You find me sitting by myself, no excuses that I know. Yeah.
So what are some of the colors that are available this round? Because I don't remember seeing a yellow one before.
Yeah, this is a butterscotch blonde. I believe there's a white. There's a burst.
Classic.
I think there's a black as well, or a more traditional wood grain.
Black could be cool.
There are 4 colors that I know of. Sorry, I don't remember all of them. I just immediately saw the butterscotch blonde, and I sent an email. I'm like, give me the yellow. I checked the email later because I was like walking, like on my way to get my hair done when I got that email in, and I was just like not really paying as close attention as I should have been. And I was like, I'll take the yellow, and I capitalized the Y randomly. ELLO and no W. I'm like, that was a great email. Perfect.
Amazing.
Beautiful email, Emily. I've been out of town. I didn't take that one with me. Just in the off chance it ended up in a picture.
I mean, it's in better tune than pretty much anything on the rack at Guitar Center.
Yeah, maybe.
Yep.
I kind of can't believe it didn't leak, honestly. There were a few close calls, I think.
A few close calls, but here we are.
There was someone I messaged about it. Like, they had a listing up on Reverb. I'm like,
yeah, little soon.
They're like, it goes on sale on Monday. And then I looked like 6 hours later. And like, I've never seen like an entire Reverb listing get pulled. I didn't know they could do that. It didn't just say this is no longer on sale. Like, the pictures were pulled and everything. So I don't know if they got on like Reverb chat or something. Or like, we messed up.
Make it go away. Make it go away.
Oh my God. We're never going to work with Fender again.
Yep.
Not gonna name names.
No naming names. No shaming.
I'm not going to do it. Not going to. That's not even my only what's new this week.
That's
so
not
far.
Fair. More than one what's new?
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of what's new this week. I got the Rare Buzz Fuzz Bob-Omb. This video is also already out. It launched yesterday. And I saw it and I messaged John and I'm like, is Fuzz Bob-Omb a reference to Scott Pilgrim? And he's like, yeah. And then I was talking to Rick. I'm like, hey, you see, what's that cartoon character's name? Not video game character's name. Oh, and he's like, oh gosh, I don't know. So I was like looking at Mario Bomb character. His name is Bob-Omb.
Yep.
I'm like, ow. It's Fuzz Bob-Omb.
Hang on, let me move my mic for this one.
Andrew has to move his mic.
We are Fuzz Bob-Omb. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mm-hmm. Had to be done.
I might have played that song in the demo.
As you should.
I wonder if I'm the only one who did, because I didn't see the other demos.
Right.
Probably not.
That's the one that, like, in the back of my head that I remember from the first Battle of the Bands that they did. It's like the I'm a Garbage Truck song. I remember like hearing them like as a kid, like, oh, this is so angsty and stuff. And now I'm like, this, like the lyrically, that almost sounds like it could be a kid's song.
I mean, it's a song from a comic book movie.
Yep. It's great.
But it's like a lot of
not
punk
a bad
rock
thing
songs.
At all.
There's like, it's fun. It's fun.
It's been a weird few days for punk rock. I will say that.
Are you saying that because Johnny Rotten was on The Masked Singer?
Oh, I didn't hear about that. That's weird.
That makes it weirder. I mean, that is one of the weird things. And then Robin Thicke was like, this guy literally invented punk rock. And I was like, no, bad Robin Thicke. Bad. Wrong.
Yeah,
punk rock was invented in America. Punk rock was invented in America. And then British people did their own and kind of made it more popular and then brought it back to America.
Yeah, but to, steal from a British phrase, I mean, it's a bit thick, that one.
Well, Robin Thicke's whole career is stealing from other people, so what the hell does he know about that? He likes to give
sure.
He likes to give credit to the thieves. Golf clap.
Yep.
I like that one.
No, I was the There's that show that the video got shared in the
I haven't watched it yet. I've been had no cell service all day.
That was not what I expected to wake up to in the chat. But I guess in Florida, of all places, the front woman of a Rage Against the Machine cover band.
Oh, that's what it was? It really was a Rage Against the Machine cover band? Okay.
Brass Against the Machine, dragged some dude on stage, dropped her pants, peed on his face, squatted, peed on his face, and then he just ran off stage.
Start. Who ran off stage?
Some fan of the band got up on stage, laid down, she popped a squat, peed on his face, and he. No, that's my headphones.
So to listeners,
and,
Andrew just made a head shaking back and forth motion to illustrate his point.
Yeah.
So the guys did the guy seem enthusiastic?
Yep, he did. Okay. It was fully consensual. The whole thing was just weird stuff at a punk rock show, except it was being streamed, pun intended, on Twitch. And apparently they had to Twitch immediately killed the feed.
How? Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
so, I suppose all publicity is good publicity sometimes.
I guess fuck you, I won't do what you tell me only goes so far.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Yeah. Lots of good jokes about that, but I was also so pre-caffeine reading this in the Twitch chat going, or not Twitch, but the Discord server. What? Is this real?
Tell me some of the good jokes. Do you remember any of them? Because
I could pull them up.
Enough.
I remember pissing in the name of.
Oh. 60 Cycle Hum had a very spicy Eric Clapton thread going over the weekend. I had a lot of fun in.
Yep.
The thing is, more than a lot of groups, every time something controversial happens in the 60 Cycle Hum group, there's always a couple of people who have never commented or have commented 5 times in 3 years, rage quit. And you're okay, bye.
This is my personal favorite comment is a rage against the latrine.
I get rage against. That's good. Excellent work.
And then another comment, rage against the machine says...
literal hat tip to Joe Braga.
Rage Against the Machine, we want to piss some people off with a song. And Brass Against the Machine, we want to piss on some people with a song. People were having a field day with that, and I'm sure somewhere in the deep corners of a prison, R. Kelly's just absolutely beside himself that this is okay now.
Well... There are some key differences
to delineate the differences. It's a given.
There's some difference.
I just got a crack out of that. I'm if everybody's okay with it, and the only caveat I could possibly think of is it not being an all ages show. Then, dude, it's punk rock. Go for it. I don't know.
I met a cowboy this weekend.
A real cowboy?
It's a bit of a cowpoke. We were up in near Winthrop, which is kind of a western kind of place, and we were going to Twisp to a brewery. Sorry to look up the brewery, and there was this. As we were driving there. There was this guy dressed as a very, very. He was just he was in the Sons of the Pioneers, which is a Western singing group from those old cowboy movies, and he just ran his horse, dog faithfully behind him. So we go to the brewery, we're drinking, and who walks in but Mr. Cowpoke? And my niece just really wanted to pet the dog, so I'm like, oh yeah, we'll go and we'll pet the dog. Come on, let's go pet the dog. So then I asked the guy, I'm like, oh, what's the dog's name? He says, oh, You'll Play. I'm like, oh, like the yogurt? He's like, yeah, like the yogurt. I'm like, well, what's your name? He's like, John, like the yogurt. So you knew he had a good sense of humor about it. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, we got to meet his horse, Charlie Siringo, named after the famous cowboy detective in Pinkerton Detective.
Sounds like quite the character.
There's a song about Charlie Siringo. Charlie Siringo, American Detective. Yes. American lawman, detective, bounty hunter, and Pinkerton agent. Yeah. It was exciting. It was fun. He talked about playing the accordion.
Wow.
Like, I'm more of a poet.
There's layers to this guy.
Yeah, there really are.
I'd buy him a drink.
Oh, I think everybody was buying that man a drink. I don't think that man's bought his own drinks in a long time. You know, sometimes you can just tell.
Handlebar mustache?
Oh, he definitely had a mustache.
Nice.
But yeah, so that was really cool to meet the horse. He says, man, I've had a lot of horses in my day, but never a horse like Charlie Siringo that just that horse, I whistle and Charlie she comes a running.
Aww.
That's the song, Charlie Siringo. Oh, I guess I'm not.
So I did something monumentally stupid.
Ooh, now I really want to know.
So Ryan Burke posted his hot take about Cool Whip in the 60 Cycle Hum group the other day. And
this is a podcast about the 60 Cycle Hum group. That's not the 60 Cycle Hum podcast.
I mean, I didn't even bother reading through the Eric Clapton. I'm like, it's probably just a bunch of people, arguing about how racist he really is, which doesn't really sound like a fun argument to have. So skipped to that one, went straight to the Cool Whip, and I see he's hating on Cool Whip in the back of my head. I'm like, I actually kind of like Cool Whip. Cool Whip on pumpkin pie sounds great. And every once in a while, especially if it's been in the freezer, just like a spoonful, just straight up from the freezer is great. Now, Melissa was out for a girls' night, and I was like, hey, could you get some Cool Whip on the way home? That'd be great. Super random, I know, but extra creamy, preferable. Because if you're going to do it, you got to do it right. And she brought it home, and I had a couple of beers, and the first spoonful was really great. And so was the second one.
Oh, boy.
And before I knew it, I finished the entire tub. Here, let me pull up my photos.
You ate a whole tub of Cool Whip extra creamy?
Yeah,
it didn't even make it to the freezer?
It was still frozen. All right, what's the timestamp on this? 10:18 p.m. last night was when I finished it. And the photo of me, I guess I didn't get a photo. Oh, here we go. The photo of when I opened it was from 9:58. So in 20 minutes from open to empty. Yeah, that was.
This podcast is over. It's done. We're done.
So after that, I'm inclined to agree with Ryan Burke now, and I don't know if I can ever do that again. And there was I woke up at 3 a.m. with cramps. It was awful.
Oh my God, dude.
So
that's gross. That's
congratulations to Ryan. You win this round.
Congratulations to whipped cream.
Yep.
You made a fan by default. Damn, dude, that's nasty.
It just kind of tasted like ice cream.
Cool Whip's fine. A spoonful of Cool Whip is fine. That is the maximum serving of Cool Whip. It's 3 pieces of candy corn is fine. More pieces of candy corn than that is really not. Anything like that there's a limit.
Anyways,
Ew.
So I wore my 60 Cycle Hum shirt today.
Jesus, are we just going to talk about 60 Cycle Hum all day? Oh my God.
Well, I haven't been able to stop thinking about Ryan because he just did that orange supersonic as well.
I wonder if he can join. I wonder if he could join this mid-recording.
That would be hilarious, but also I feel like we're I'm out of 60 cycle hum content. Like that's all of it.
I'm so out of it.
We've got other things to talk about.
Do we though?
We have heists to talk about.
We must discuss Heist, but first we must thank Caroline Guitar Company.
Indeed.
They make fantastic guitar pedals. Who knows what they have planned for the rest of the year? I don't. So that's why I'm on their email list, because I want to be the first to find out.
Oh,
join their
smooth.
email list at the Caroline Guitar Company website. You'll be the first to know about new releases, and often when they release a pedal, they release it with a special edition color merch pack or something else that's fun, and I highly recommend it. It's worth it. That's how I got my somersault and my Hawaiian pizza. And
that was
I have
smooth.
no regrets. Listen, I'm in marketing and I'm a writer. I found out that some content I was writing, the company was also using them to make scripts for their YouTube videos, verbatim. And I was telling someone I work with about this, and he's like, damn, that means your writing is good enough just to be used as a script with no changes? I was like,
yep.
Yes, it also means I should have asked for more money.
It certainly does.
Yeah.
Man, my pitch for the week was, do you like havoc in your life? Because you don't need to eat an entire type of Cool Whip to get there. Instead, you could just buy Caroline Effects.
Hey, Philippe, message me and tell me which one you liked better.
Oh, it's not even a contest.
Everyone, we're going to make a poll. Which Caroline spot did you like better? Which made you barf in your mouth less?
Wonder if I could get a custom one-off. It says Cool Whip on it.
Which pedal would have the Cool Whip? I feel like the Hawaiian pizza always has like the special editions. It'd be like the American pizza with like a dollop of Cool Whip on it. Oh.
If I could get like Cool Whip, but then like pumpkin pie colored.
Because the American pizza, I feel like correct me if I'm wrong, but does his American pizza, is one of the icons like a rocket pop?
That sounds right.
That sounds right. But just because it sounds right doesn't mean it is right.
I could see a somersault, but as like labeled as Cool Whip, and like one icon is a spoon and one icon is like slice of pumpkin pie.
And what else? There are two other icons. One is the volume of the container depleting. And the other one is an ice box. The last one is regret or tummy ache.
Yep.
So we got container volume for the volume. We've got a dollop. I think that's probably depth. The pumpkin pie is rate. And then we have the tummy ache. is the havoc switch as well. So we have a few other things.
That would definitely be havoc.
The tummy ache, just someone going, ooh. Just specifically Andrew going, ooh, at 3 a.m.
I was straight up awake for an hour. Like I could not sleep.
No, I've been there, but not from Cool Whip.
It seemed like a really great, like it tasted great when it like, just one of those, like as soon as I realized I was on the last bite, like that was a mistake. It was only 20 minutes. Dude,
what?
So anyways, I should actually go back. I should start dieting again tomorrow. Not like hardcore dieting, just like actually eating real food.
Yeah, because there's nothing real about Cool Whip.
No.
Nothing.
Like I'm scared to look at what the ingredients actually are.
Yeah, just
I don't think I've ever looked.
Just don't. Mm-hmm. And don't ever do that again.
No. Oh, I won't.
With anything. Once Rick ate an entire like 12 pack of like those British tea biscuits, those like they're like the cookies, but they're really dense. Ones? Yeah, they're really dense because you're only supposed to eat one. He got really sick.
I like Walker's shortbread. Well, so I'm trying to think if there's a good transition here into our topic for the day.
Speaking about things that are really sick that you shouldn't do. Speaking about things you shouldn't do.
Things that you shouldn't do.
That was pretty good, right? That wasn't bad.
Yeah.
That wasn't as good as my other one.
No, it was not nearly as good as your other one, but yeah, it's fine. I'm recovering. My entire gut biome is recovering, and that influences so much more of everything else. So
okay,
that's my cop out. Sure. So speaking of things you shouldn't do, there article came out today. It seemed like something like straight out of like science fiction. Not really science fiction, more like a daytime crime drama. But the headline was DNA, like tree DNA used to convict felon or something.
You sent me this article. I didn't read it. I was like, what?
Yeah. So like, it's a total clickbait article title. I was really thrown by it, but so I was like, okay, well, I'll read. It was one of those suggested articles, and reading through, it's like, so this dude was illegally harvesting maple trees out of the Olympic National Forest for lumber. And it didn't say,
from a national park?
From a national park in a specific like grove of maple. And he had a friend that worked at a lumber mill. So he was able to like falsify the documents, saying that was all like super, like legal wood.
Shit. And
it doesn't say what kind of maple, but it does say that it was a variety of maple used for musical instruments, which I thought was fascinating.
Oh no!
And he was first caught because they decided. So the reason why it all fell apart is their slick operation. Nobody had any idea until they accidentally burned down like hundreds of acres. The reason why they actually burned down hundreds of acres is they're trying to take care of a wasp nest. They thought the best way to take care of it would be to spray it down with some gasoline and light a match.
Oh my god!
In a forest.
So these guys were both really smart and so stupid. Oh my god!
I think like almost as stupid as like somebody who would like eat an entire container of Cool Whip at once. They make spray for. It might have been the kind of thing like they'd already trekked all the way out there for the day and they didn't, have like wasp killer on them. They didn't want to take the day off to go out and get some come back. Like, well, what do we have? I don't know. Siphon some hose out of the back of the truck. Maybe that'll work. There's something dumb like that.
I bet they have regrets.
Yeah. So they started a forest fire. They got caught in the process. And then despite their best efforts to defend their actions, they got busted and the whole chain fell apart because they started testing the lumber that had hit the mill. They tested the DNA versus the leftover tree stumps.
Oh my god!
And the DNA was like a 1 in like 300 million trillion gazillion whatever like likelihood that it wasn't a match.
Oh my god!
So yeah, apparently it's a first for lumber crimes to use tree DNA. But I thought, aside from just how absolutely comical that story is, but also a little heartbreaking, it's also very strange because that's still local. Like we've talked about in the podcast before, like ethical sourcing for lumber for musical instruments.
Right.
And
I've never thought that like it would even be like in the realm of possibilities that someone would be stealing it from a national park. Like,
and then falsifying documents to be able to sell it.
You're not supposed to cut down trees in parks. If you've seen Elf, you know that. And everybody's seen Elf.
Yep. Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm full of them.
Cheers to them being done. But I think the thought that crossed my mind is, so these are the guys that got caught. And I don't know if there's a statistic on this, but I feel like it's the sort of thing like for every one person that gets caught, there's X amount of people that are actively getting away with it. And I just thought that was interesting to sit in the back of my mind to go, I wonder if anything.
I mean, our national park systems are huge. There are people living there and stuff. Yeah. Like there are like people actively living in national parks. You're not supposed to do that. You're really, really not.
Right.
There was an episode of, I think it was like American Horror Stories. Like the whole play was like they're very scary breeds of humans living in national parks. But I don't think it's anything quite that scary. I mean, it's definitely probably not people you'd like super duper want to run into.
Sure.
But
isn't that like Sasquatch? Yeah. Maybe that's why parts of the national parks are closed off to the public.
Well, that was part of the like episode was like, that's why that happens sometimes is they have to close things down and bring in the government and like
try and contain it.
The people. Yeah, contain it. That's a nice way to say. It's a nice way to say bringing the military to kill human beings, monsters. But yeah, that got dark. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens in
it's called colonization. Parks. All right, let's just call a spade here.
Well, I mean, it wasn't. It was. That's not what I was going for in this. I was just talking about the episode, the television show specifically. And while I am assuming that is what it was about, vaguely, it's not quite.
I haven't seen it.
It was more zombie-esque than that. It was kind of more zombie-esque. Sure. That got dark. Yeah, but there's also national. They're huge.
They're huge.
You know, speaking of that, like there was that Gabby Pepito. That woman who was murdered by her boyfriend. Like definitely.
Then her boyfriend's remains were found in Florida.
Yeah. He died one way or another. But when they were trying to find his body, they found like between 6 and 9 other missing persons.
Right.
Just to the search for him.
Yep.
So it says a lot about like what we do and do not find in these national parks.
Yes.
Yeah. And there are a lot of forests, and forests are huge. And
forests are dense.
They are. And there are a lot of logging operations. And you can't really always see what's going on from planes in forests. Because of cloud cover and fog and haze and things like that. You really need vehicles that can fly a little bit lower, like drones, especially for some smaller scale operations. Like if it's not like a lot of things at once, like I don't know how big this operation was, but unless they were bringing in like a lot of trucks and clearing like a bunch of trees every day, I don't know if it would have been like that noticeable by air.
Not likely.
Yeah. So, yeah. I actually, this is so stupid. I know this. Like, I just was talking to someone who works in forestry the other day, and we were talking to them about drones versus airplanes. So stupid. I don't know why. This is the weird knowledge you accumulate from talking to people. You talk to people. It's fun.
It is fun. I recommend it some of the time in moderation.
Things.
All things in moderation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was listening to the Cocaine and Rhinestones podcast. Have you listened to that? The season 2 yet? Season 1? No. He really gets into the music production stuff of it, and that's really cool. Like he was talking about how back when they were only using stand-up bass, it was really hard to record bass in the studio, and depending on what key the song was in, they would move the microphone around in the room. And if there was a certain level of humidity and heat outside, they just knew you were going to get a bad bass sound. And that's why they started using baritone guitars to do like a ticky-tacky kind of bass sound.
Interesting.
To kind of go along. So the baritone got the attack that the upright bass wasn't getting, and then the bass still got the low thump. So it's kind of a blend of two things that were basically solved by getting the invention of a standard 4-string bass that we pluck. It was really interesting to hear that. Yeah.
It's neat.
Yeah, it is neat.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
A lot of, and the drums were banned from the Grand Ole Opry for a very long time. I forget that. You'd be shocked listening to, not that you listen to old country music, so you wouldn't be shocked. How little of it has drums. Even if it sounds like it has drums, you don't miss them because there's so much percussive stuff going on with the bassist hitting the backbeat, and tricks from the guitarists. Mm-hmm. So you don't miss it. It's like the bass and When Doves Cry. You don't miss it. Recommended listening, even though sometimes the intros are weird and long. It comes back around usually. For a couple of episodes, Rick and I were listening. We're like, he never really came back to that intro, did he? No, not in a way we recognized.
Not intentionally.
Well, intentionally, always intentionally. Tyler Mahanco, the host, is a brilliant writer and historian. So,
David Speaking of bringing it back to the intro, Taylor Swift.
Oh, did you watch on SNL?
No, I just heard that she did the full 10-minute version, and then people are dissing Jake Gyllenhaal on the internet now.
That makes her one of 2 artists to just do one long song on SNL instead of 2 short ones or regular length ones. You know the other one?
Nope.
Prince.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I would know that then.
That. A lot of things just aligned right there.
Yeah, when I was watching that performance, I was thinking a few things. One, she was 22 when she was writing lyrics like that. Like, damn.
Yep.
I can't pull them out of my head because it's actually pretty late at night and I'm a little tired.
Oh, yeah, and I just finished my peppermint tea, so my body's like, and it's time for rest.
What was the name of that song?
All Too Well.
All Too Well. Right, so she was like, there was a good one. So Casually Cruel in the Name of Being Honest. I'm like, damn it, that's a good lyric for a 22-year-old to write. Holy moly. Yep. So I thought about that. I know there's another songwriter on that song, but I don't know who wrote that line, but damn, that's a good one.
Definitely listened to that record.
A lot.
Thinking about heartbreak.
It's a good one. And the other thing was record. I was one of the things I was actually 3 things I was thinking about when I was watching this performance. So one was, damn, she was only 22 when she was writing those lyrics. The second one was, man, we were pretty mean to her about not being a very good singer when she was 22 and stuff like that. And 3, she's obviously taken singing lessons and gotten better at singing. But what I noticed during the performance was the one thing she's gotten a lot better at was when she wasn't able to hold out a note or wasn't really happening. She just stopped. She wouldn't try to keep trying to go for it. She just, instead of trying to hold it out more, she just let it go and
don't force it.
Yeah, don't force it. So she's just the growth as a performer is really cool. But yeah, I guess that song's about Jake Gyllenhaal. That's
the rumor on the street.
That line about turning 21 should be fun or something. It's oh man. I can see, I was reading a couple tweets about it. I can see why her fans get so invested in deciphering her lyrics.
Yep.
Yeah. Because especially reading that one and then seeing that there were fan theories that she wrote 22 because turning 21 was such a shit show and she had such a terrible 21st birthday. That
makes
turning
total
22
sense to
was
me.
really fun. Yeah, that does make sense.
Doesn't even seem like a stretch.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to be able to put things together like that.
That came out before I turned 22. So I definitely sang that on my 22nd birthday.
Yeah, I mean, she and I are the same age, so yeah, I sang that a lot at that age. And I also did not really know what being 22 felt like other than not having a lot of money and being really confused and having a lot of struggles. And I feel like that was kind of the point.
Yep.
So that's what being 22 felt like to me. I kind of knew what was happening in college and now I don't know what's happening at all. help, somebody help. And now here I am, 32. Whew. I think I have
22.
A little better.
I had just moved back to LA with Melissa and the kiddo. And I was working at Guitar Center.
Yeah. I had just graduated college, I guess, and had started my job at the Tennessean. And I guess I met Rick that year, so that was pretty cool.
There you go. Very cool.
I quit that job because it sucked. Yeah. It was not a bad year. All rough start, solid finish. Maybe. Building blocks. It was a building blocks of what's become pretty good time. Look at my little pumpkin on my shoulder.
Well, all of that said, I know Melissa's probably listening through the wall right now, and she's going to be mad at me. I've been teasing her all weekend. She's like, I'm so excited about it. I'm like, she just re-releasing her old songs. What is there to be excited about? Just teasing her. She's like, no, but she released more and extended versions, and this is so cool. Like, I know, but
it didn't feel like a long 10 minutes. Some people will disagree for sure.
It's a well-written song.
She has become a lot more famous than I think anyone ever expected her to be. And we were all, myself included, so mean about her not being a great singer. She was writing really, really well for anybody, especially at that age.
I think when I was, high school and whatnot, if you had asked me if I had to pick who's going to go farther in their career, or do better for the long term, like Justin Bieber or Taylor Swift, I probably would have gone with Bieber.
Oh God, I would not have. Never would have gone with Bieber. I thought he was a flash. I actually didn't think he would do this well at all. I thought he was a big flash in the pan.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought Kesha would have been even bigger than she is, and I think she would have been if it hadn't been for certain producer.
Yeah. No, I think of looking at Bieber's recent stuff. I'm like, it's one of those you either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. It's kind of that vibe.
He's got his fan base. He's doing his thing.
He's
still getting booked on SNL and stuff, and releasing truly atrocious music. In my humble opinion,
I can't say.
The hook is you've got that yummy, 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 yummy. That's just the worst, one of the worst words in the English language. For an adult to say. Unless you're trying to convince a little child to eat something that is green on the plate, you don't say, yummy, fuck, that's gross. That's not sexual at all. Leave things you say to literal children out of the bedroom.
Right, and his mustache certainly did not help.
No. Oh.
All right. Well.
Disgusting.
We started off with
weird.
Eco-friendly wood sourcing and ended with Justin Bieber's mustache. I think we've drifted.
Yeah, but I feel like we need to bring it back to something joyful. There's still time to sign up for our Patreon $25 Secret Santa. So check us out at patreon.com/getoffset. Please comment, subscribe. You can join the Patreon Secret Santa. You can join the Patreon Discord for as little as $25 for as little as $5 a month. Or as little as $5 a month.
Dang.
Listen, I know my worth. You don't get extra content. You just get extra access to great humans. We are only a part of that extra access. And you do get early access to non-embargo videos. So you didn't see the Acoustasonic video early, but you see some other things early.
Yep.
What else do you get for the $5 Patreon? For $10, you get merch. So Jason Welsh, tell me what merchy thing you want. Ooh, I need to PayPal Holly. Holly, I'm going to PayPal you. I promise. I promise. I'm watching this. I promise.
There is
future Emily, PayPal Holly.
There is a hardcore cover of a Wiggle song coming down the pipeline.
Yes, there is.
Spent some time writing how I want to build that out, and it helps that I actually finally got my pickups in. You probably can't see it, but in the Ibanez, got those grinders, Lambertones grinders in there last week, and have been noodling on that this week.
Cool.
Kind of getting the wiggles out, pun intended, but like, you know, it's like, oh yeah, you know, I've got like high gain pickups and like I can do the chugga and I just like sit down and chugga it for like 5 minutes. Like, all right, now I should actually do something other than just chugga.
You should.
Getting out of my system. And
don't forget to put a mic up separately, just like the fretboard of the guitar, not plugged in, like just acoustically, and gate it real hard and hard pan it and do that twice. So you still get the strumming sound on the guitar, because otherwise sometimes the strumming gets lost in the mix.
It's not a technique I considered before, but good to know. I'll check it out.
It adds some clarity to the mix sometimes. If you find that your strumming pattern is getting lost in the mix.
Well, my plan is to do all the.
You don't have to pan it, actually, if you don't want to. But it creates a better...
No, I was going to do the, what do you call it? All my high gain sounds out of the Pod Go.
Yeah, then you...
I'm actually like fairly impressed with how good it sounds. I'm using the Orange Amps emulator to kind of dial in some sounds, at least just for writing with, and very happy with it.
Yeah, it's still very easy to lose strums and high gain.
Yep.
Just an idea. Just something.
Yep.
Something.
No, that would probably be worth tracking. And then the other thing I'm thinking about, like, as I'm like kind of writing this out, I'm like, okay, do I want to like, I've got a friend who's offering to help produce it with me. It's like a fun Saturday afternoon thing.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I'm like, should I at least lay some tracks first and then have them over? Be like, all right, here's like at least 90%. If we need to add one or two things, great. Or should I like have them over and start from scratch and let them?
Oh, I would at least record some, like these are my ideas, but I wouldn't record anything you wouldn't be willing to like get rid of.
Unrecord. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the only part that I'm going to want to probably really do in advance is the drum parts, because that's going to just be typing that in on a keyboard into Logic.
Yeah. So. I can't wait to get that Roland 404 Mark II.
Nice.
It's the most unnecessary thing I've ever gotten. Just on gift cards.
But it might become one of the most necessary things that you enjoy.
Yes.
Gotta love your drum machine.
Well, electric drums. Gonna get down to... Well, they're analog drums, but just sampled. They're real drums. They are real drums. People forget that samples are real instruments.
Agreed. I concur. And with that, thank you for watching.
Thanks for listening.
My name is Andrew.
Thanks for understanding.
There we go.
My name is Emily. Goodbye.
Bye.
Wow, I was just waiting for you to say goodbye. Wow, okay. Bye.
No. Bye.